Welcome to the Yellow Belt Training Class 3. Let's begin. Go escape. Ready. Go. Let's begin with prayer. Dear God, thank you so much for another opportunity to train. Lord, give us endurance and patience as we train hard. And Lord, I pray for safety. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's begin by reviewing the character quality, endurance. Endurance versus giving up. The inward strength to withstand stress to accomplish God's best. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. James 1:3-4. At this point, you should have that character quality memorized. If you don't have it memorized yet, make sure that you take some time today and get that memorized. Let's warm up. Jumping jacks, begin. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, hey, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, hey, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, hey, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, hey, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, up down, ich, ni, san, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, side to side, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, forward and back, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, arm rotations forward, small, ni, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, reverse, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, big ones forward, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, reverse, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, over and under, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, kame, swing backs, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, twist the ball of your foot, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, stretch to your side, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, twist punch, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, torso rotations, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, other direction, ich, Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju to the side. High buck. Reverse punch. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Other direction. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Legs apart. Stretch up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Down. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. To the side. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Other direction. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Ankle rotations. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Other direction. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Hip rotations. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Other direction. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Side to side. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Front kick stretch. Low level. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Mid level. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Switch. Low level. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Mid level. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Side. Low level. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Mid level. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Other side. Low level. Ich. Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju, mid-level Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Knee rotations. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Other direction on Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. In and out. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Calf stretch. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Mountain climbers. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. And yummy. Squat kicks. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Push-ups. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Front snap kick. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Hey, switch. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Hey, roundhouse kick, lead leg. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Hey, switch. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Gu, Ju. Hey. Balance drill. Right leg up. Ich, Ni, Son, Shi, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, to the side, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, back, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, roundhouse forward, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, and relax. Other leg up, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, to the side, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, back, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, roundhouse forward, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, and relax. Let's take a moment and review the front stance. Go ahead and step back with your right leg, hands on your hips. Remember to keep your knee out, bend your knee, body straight up and down, pushing off on that back leg and not lean forward as we go forward and back. Let's just take some time and review this front stance. Stepping forward, each. And when we go back, push off that front leg and back, knee. Son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, and yame. Let's switch legs. Other leg back. Also remember that when I step forward, I don't want to do anything that will alert my opponent that I'm stepping forward. Raising my shoulders, my eyes. I also want to make sure that that front foot doesn't do this all the time. So as we step forward and back this time, concentrate on that front foot not turning. Just be right where it's at. Stepping forward. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Keep that knee out. Ku. Ju. And yame. Let's practice it with a low block and a stepping punch. I'll do the side view so that you can watch. Step back with your right leg. Low block with your left arm. Stepping forward, punch. Ich. Stepping back, low block. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. And yame. Let's do the other leg back, low block. Stepping forward, punch. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Remembering the knee, not moving the foot. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. And yame. Let's look at some of the details of the front stance, especially when it comes to how far do you bend your knee when in the front stance. Now before we said bend your knee to where it's over your toe. Now, hopefully you've been doing that and working on that. But as we mentioned in the last class, I believe it's important that you know why you do this. So let's look at the details. I'll use this as a reference tool. Now, if I was to bend my knee to where it's over my toe, and my knee is in the same line as my toe, this is what the stance will look like. If I was to go less, we can see it here, and of course more here. Now, there are two main reasons that I want to go over as far as why we go this far. The first reason is it's going to strengthen your leg. If we were to train all of our techniques here, it makes it to where there's not as much tension on the leg, and I'm not going to get as good of a workout. So I want to make sure that I go all the way to here. Probably the most important reason, though, is at this point right here is where I can do all of my technique, say a kick or a step forward. I can do all of my technique without telegraphing, without moving and letting my opponent know that I'm coming forward. If I was to start here with my knee not all the way bent, and I wanted to step forward, say whether it's a step or a kick, the first thing that I would have to do is reposition my body and bend my knee to get my body to where I can kick as far as the center of gravity goes. By training here to where our knee is over our toe all of the time, this enables us to kick or to punch without telegraphing to my opponent. And this is probably the most important reason as far as why we do that. Now, in the beginning, it's going to be challenging to get that knee over the toe all the time. Your legs might be shaking and not in shape yet, but I would encourage you over the course of time to really push towards that. Really make it to where this is your standard all of the time for all of your stanzas. When you're doing the blocks, punches, kicks, in your formations, make sure that this is where you're at. Primarily for this so that you can kick and move forward without telegraphing. If you do this now, in the future, it'll be a lot easier when we work on the subject of not telegraphing. Let's practice the front stance, and let's concentrate this time just on bending that knee far enough so it's over your toe. Go ahead and put your hands on your hips. Step back with your right leg. Bend your knee to where it's over that toe, and that's what we're going to concentrate this time as we're stepping forward and back. Stepping forward. Each. Make sure it goes all the way over and back. Knee. Now, as you step forward, watch my knee here. Okay, what I don't want to do is I don't want to bend it any further or telegraph or in or out. This knee should be solid and stay right where it's at, so when I step forward, I don't have any extra motion or movement. So concentrate that as we move forward. Each. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hach. Gu. Ju. And yame. Let's switch to the other side. Other leg back. Get that knee out over your toe. Stepping forward. Each. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hach. Gu. Ju. And yame. Let's review the low block together. Go ahead and get into a horse stance. Left arm out in front. Slowly with me. Each. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Ruk. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. And Yame. Let's go through this slowly and talk about a few of the ideas so you're remembering what you're doing. Start with your left arm out. Remember that as we go to the halfway point, this arm moves in to protect this part of the body. This arm will move up and protect this part of the head. Slide down, keeping both arms ready to twist. This palm is facing up, this one is facing down. And at the last moment, twist and tighten your entire body. Twist and relax. The arm up, protecting the head, protecting the body. Down, keeping these fists in the correct position. And twist and relax. Again, up and down, twist. Up, down, twist. Up, down. At this point, you should be relaxed. Relaxed, relax, relax, relax. Twist and tighten. Relax. Up, down, twist. Up, down, twist. Up, down, twist. Up, down, twist. Now remember, as we do this block, we want to block just far enough to where my opponent misses me. Make sure we don't go too far, and make sure we don't go too little. Just enough to where they'll come by. Let's practice this a little bit faster now. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Kia. Hey. Let's continue on. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Kia. Hey. Let's practice the low block while we step forward and back. Right leg back, low block with your left arm. Now, let's concentrate on the timing of this so that as we get halfway in the block, we are halfway in the stance. And then as we finish with the stance, our block finishes at the same time. Here we go, stepping forward, medium speed. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hut. Gu. Ju. Kia. Hey. And yame. Other leg back. Remember, as we do this, make sure that we're stepping correctly. And also, when we end the low block, our hips should be open in the open position so that we're ready for a reverse punch or a reverse arm or leg attack. So as we step forward, watch my hips. My hips will go forward. And then as I step, they will turn outward in the opposite direction of my arm, that reverse rotation, and end in a front stance with my hips facing out. Let's do this slowly, concentrating on those hips this time. Let's do halfway and then all the way as far as the count. Each, here, hips forward, knee out. Stepping back. Each, hips forward, knee out. Each, knee. Stepping back. Each, knee. One step, one count, slowly. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. Now let's add a reverse punch here. And we're going to step forward, low block, reverse punch, so we can see how that hip positioning works with this technique. Step forward, low block. Hips should be out. Hips ready to go. And now reverse punch. Stepping back, low block, reverse punch. Stepping forward, low block, reverse punch. Stepping back, low block, reverse punch. Stepping forward. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. Yame. Other leg back. Low block reverse punch. Let's start with a reverse punch. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. And yame. Let's review the standing punch. Start by putting your hands in your chamber. Right arm comes out. Remember to keep your fist facing down and your palm facing up until the last moment, and then twist, punching to the middle of your body. This arm comes back, this one goes out, and at the last moment, twist. Each, twist. Knee, twist. Remember to keep your shoulder locked. Sun, twist. Sheet, twist. Tighten and relax. Go. Rook. Siege. Hutch. Goo. Chew. Hey. Continue. Ich. Ni. Son. She. Go. Rook. Siege. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Hey. And Yame. Let's go over for a few moments why the positioning of your arm is important. Now, I said in the beginning to punch to the middle of your body. Now, what if we want to punch someone and it's up here or over here or over here or over here? As long as we understand the concept of the dynamics of punching and the idea of triangles, which we're going to go over here now, we can punch in any direction and reposition our body to make it to where it's the most effective punch. Now in a punch, ideally what we want to do is put as little effort into the punch, but yet have it be the most effective punch. I don't want to put 100% energy into a punch if I don't need to. Ideally, I want to put as little energy, but yet still have it be as effective as possible so that I can use other techniques and still have energy to do other things. So what we want to do is use the idea of triangles. Now triangles have been used over the course of time for architecture because of its strength. So you'll see the pyramids or bridges, how they're built out of triangles, and that's a stronger structure than say a square or a rectangle. So what we want to do is as we create this punch, we want to create on our body as many triangles as possible. Let me show you what I mean by this. If I was to hold both arms out in front of me, I'm creating a series of squares. If you were to look from the top view here, from shoulder to fist, over to here and back, this creates one square. From a side view, here, this hand down, over, up, and over is also another square. So in this position here, as far as me holding my arm out, I'm creating two squares. Now, this punch might be effective depending on where I hit my opponent, but it can be a lot more effective if I simply rearrange my arms. So watch from the top view here. If I was to take my hands and simply move them together, this now creates one triangle. So by simply moving my hands in and punching inward, I now have a triangle as far as that part of my body goes. However, here, if this is parallel to the ground, I still have this square. So I have one triangle and one square. To fix that, I simply have to move that down or up, and now it creates a second triangle. If I was to draw from here to my body, up and over, I now have another triangle. So by simply moving my hands together and then downward, I now create two triangles instead of two squares. Now you might ask, well, what does that do for me really? To be able to demonstrate this easily, find a wall, and on this wall, go ahead and create two squares. So this one is parallel here, and I'm out. Now as you do this, just lean against the wall and see how that feels. Just kind of see how that pressure works. Now what I want you to do is take your arm and move it in to the body, creating a triangle, and lean against. Now you're going to see really quick that that is a lot more stable as far as how it feels. Now bring that arm down slightly to where we create two triangles and push against it. You're going to see that you have a lot more stability in your body. Now again, move it out and up to where there's to where there's no triangles, just squares, and push against it. and move it in and push. Try it with the other arm. Create 2 squares and push against it. Push hard. Now move in and down and push. You're going to see that's a lot more stable. We could try another move in and up as well. This creates 2 triangles at a different angle. You can see how that is also stronger. As we get to where we create more squares, however, it gets less stable. So as we punch, we want to be thinking about these triangles. Punch, I have 1, 2 triangles. Punch, 1, 2 triangles. Now the question always comes up, well, what if I need to punch somebody right here? This is where my target is. If your target is in a spot where it would create 2 squares, there's a simple solution to that. All you have to do is turn your body or your height in adjustment to create to where now there are 2 triangles. This was my target. I could punch here, 2 squares, not as effective, simply by turning my body and lowering slightly. I now have 2 triangles, and this punch will be a lot more effective. So as we later on get into fighting and fighting techniques and strategies, you always want to be thinking, what is the best way that I can be the most effective in my technique by using the principles of triangles and still be able to have more energy in the future to finish the fight. So let's go through this one more time. And as we do this, I want you to be thinking specifically about these triangles. Hands in your chamber. Start with your right arm. Ich. Twist. Now look. Do you have 2 triangles? Is this up too far? In, out. Kind of a good area to shoot for is your solar plex area as far as a target mentally of where you're trying to punch. And that will create those 2 triangles. Other arm. Ich. Twist. Triangles. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Hey! Let's continue on. Now watch from the side view, making sure we have these triangles. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jukia. Hey. Now let's move up to head level. Here, now you notice we still have a triangle here because we're going to go past this spot. This spot right here, we really never want to punch to unless we absolutely have to. So let's move this up. This creates this triangle here. Remember to make sure that we're still in to create this triangle here. Head level punch. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Kia. Hey! And yame. Let's practice the punch as we step forward and back. Again, thinking specifically about creating triangles. Right leg back, low block with your left arm. Stepping forward, mid-level, stepping punch. Ich. Triangles. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. hut, gu, ju, kia, hey. Switch legs. Stepping forward. Remember, we're working on the triangles. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, kia, hey! So as you practice your punches, every time, whether it's in a formation, a kata, make sure that you're thinking, is this the most effective position that I can have for my arm to be able to be the most effective punch? Now we're going to go ahead and talk about a very fun and exciting part about karate, and that is sparring. Sparring is when you get to practice your techniques against an opponent. Now this can be a very fun and exciting time, or it can be a little scary if it's not done correctly. And we want to make sure that it's done correctly, and a large portion of that is making sure that we're safe, making sure your opponent's safe, making sure you're safe. This will start off with making sure that you have the right safety gear. You can find all of the safety gear online at christiankarate.org. You'll need to make sure that you have at least the hand pads, shin and instep pads, and your body gear. And you'll be using this when you do some basics like 5-step sparring or 1-step sparring. When we get into free sparring, there are other things that you'll need to have as far as safety gear, and we'll cover that at a later time. So this is a great opportunity for you if you are working out at home and you might not have a school that you're attending. You might be doing this correspondence, and this will be a great opportunity for you to invite a friend or a family member, a coworker, somebody that you maybe want to get into karate but they weren't sure. And what you can do is this: you can go up to them and ask them, and you can say, hey, would you mind punching me for a little bit so that I can practice my techniques? And you can let them know that's part of your homework, that you need to find somebody that is willing to punch you or kick you. And so that could be a good opener if you would like to invite them. And so make sure that you have your safety gear, find a partner, and let's do some practice things and go over a few of the safety issues when dealing with your partner. So one of the things that you want to do, that as you have your partner, is when you punch, and this is in the beginning levels of yellow belt and orange and blue and such, is when we punch, we want to make sure that we're punching at a speed that our opponent can handle in the beginning. And I don't want to be punching really fast right now, because the goal is to help my opponent to learn better techniques. I also want to make sure that when I punch, I don't want to punch to a spot that if I'm off a little bit or if they step forward or back could cause damage. So when I punch to the head, I don't want to punch to the nose here in case my opponent steps forward or I slip or my distancing is slightly off. And so if I punch to the nose right now in the beginning, there could be some damage there. So when I punch to the head, as far as head level goes in the beginning, I want to punch to the forehead at this point. This will still provide a good target for my opponent to block, but if he were to step forward or I was to come forward a little bit more, punching to the forehead will be less damaging than punching to the nose. So we want to keep those things in mind. In the beginning also, we don't necessarily need to make contact. Unless we're punching to the midsection here, I can make some light contact because I do have padding on both sides. But to the head, I don't necessarily want to try to hit him in the head in the beginning. Now, for those of you who are like, oh, I really wanted to do that, well, guess what? Later on, once you become more skilled in your control and your opponent becomes more skilled in blocking, then we will increase the intensity to where you can actually try to hit each other and score points. But in the beginning, let's not hit our opponent, and if we have body armor on, we can do a light tap here. So let's go ahead and get started on how we would do 5-step sparring, 1-step sparring in the future. We always start off with a bow. That's good. Great, showing respect to our opponents. Now at this point, we want to make sure that we're at the right distance. Okay? We want to be approximately a fist away. So go ahead and adjust the distance as needed. To begin with, we're going to have one person simply attacking to the head, nice and slow. Now, for most of you, this will be the first time that you've been able to block against an opponent, so it should be nice and slow. You can go ahead and punch, and I'll go ahead and block. We're going to go ahead and work from full range of motion, and you'll punch slowly. And if you're the blocker, what you want to do is you want to work on timing the block with my opponent's punch. And that will be one of the main things that we work on, is distancing and timing. So watch as we do this slowly here. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Now on 5, on go, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do a reverse punch with a kia. So if we do 5, hi, and then relax. Now we're going to switch partners. Okay? Here we go. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. With kia. And yame. Now let's see what the low block looks like. Okay? I'll go ahead and block. You punch. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. And switch. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. And yame. Escape. Great. So that's a basic intro into the safety and how the mechanics work of 5-step sparring and 1-step sparring. Make sure that you understand that and that you've practiced that a few times with a partner, and you'll be able to move right into the next segment, which will be 5-step sparring. We're now going to go over the 3 or 5-step sparring. Now this sparring is designed to be controlled, and both persons know what's going to happen. It's done by a count, so it will help prevent any injuries. Now, we have this as a 5-step sparring on the yellow belt rank requirements. However, this can be done as a 3-step or a 2-step or a 7-step or even a 10-step, depending on the space that you have available. So as you practice this with your partner, go ahead and do as much as you can in whatever space that you have. Here we'll go ahead and demonstrate a 3-step sparring. Let me show you what this looks like so that you can be prepared for doing it with your partner. Okay. Ready? Yo. I will announce head level punch. Ich. Ni. Son. Hey. Ich. Ni. Son. Hey. And your way. So that is how it's done, and again, that's done slowly over the course of time. As you work on distancing and timing and control, you will go faster and faster. We will go ahead and demonstrate now what it will look like after you've gotten to more of an advanced level at being able to do it quickly. Head level punch. Ich. Ni. Son. Hey. Ich. Ni. Son. Hey. Excellent. Go ahead and find a partner and get ready. And this next sequence, we will step through all of the details on how to make a 3 or 5 step sparring happen. Now we're going to go over every aspect of the 3 or 5 step sparring. So if you have your partner, let's go ahead and step through each part. First, you will start by having yoi position with your partner. We always start and end with a bow. So, kyosuke. Right. Yoi. Now the person that is attacking will step back with their right leg and low block with their left arm. At this point, you'll need to adjust for the distancing. Sometimes if you're too far away, you guys will need to adjust to make sure that you're appropriate. So this person will step back, and then the person that is in yoi will adjust accordingly to make sure that it's at the right distance. This person here, the attacker, will then announce what they're going to be doing. So I will say, head level punch. Head level punch. Once this person acknowledges and is ready for that, they will kia. And at this point, the person that is attacking usually is the one that counts. Or if you have an instructor nearby, they will be the one that will be counting. So in this case, I will count and we will go nice and slow. Go ahead and do this with us. Ich. And at this point, this person here is going to step back with their right leg and high block with their left arm into this position here. Ni. San. And at this point, at 3 or 5, depending on the space that you have, the defender will do a reverse punch with a kia. Hi. At this point, you will be called into yoi position or yame, and the person that has the punch will go to a low block. The attacker will step back into yoi position, into ready position. Now at this point, that person will count, and I will step back with my right leg, getting ready to high block with my left arm. Go ahead and count. At this point, I will do a reverse punch with a kia, hai, and back to yoi position and a low block. Now at this point, we could continue on going back and forth. When we are done with the techniques, we'll come to yoi position and bow, and then be done. Let's practice this a little faster this time. From the beginning with your partner. Kyosuke. Re. Yo. The attacker steps back, low block, announces head level punch. Say head level punch. Kia when ready. Hey. Stepping forward. Ich. Ni. San. Hey. Yoi position. And back to low block. And I'll go ahead and count this one. Stepping forward again. Ich. Ni. San. Reverse punch kia. Hey. Wait. And yo. Kyosuke. Right. So that is the basics of the 3 or 5 step sparring. If you have your partner there, go ahead and watch this a few times. Go through it several times together to where you understand who does the blocks when and who does the kias, so you feel comfortable with that. Once you feel comfortable with that, move on and we'll do the first 5-step sparring combination. Let's work on the 5-step sparring number 1. Go ahead and get with your partner and do this with us. We're going to do it twice slow and 1 time at a medium speed. Follow along. Kyosuke. Right. Yo. Step back, low block. Head level punch. Hey. Slowly. Ich. 2, 3, はい1、2、3、はいNow as you step forward, remember all of the techniques that have to do with a stepping punch and all of the techniques that have to do with a block. One of the keys that we're working on here is distancing and timing. So as I'm moving forward in the punch, I'm concentrating on all of the techniques for my punch. I want to make sure that I'm not telegraphing, making sure that I have the right distancing to my opponent. The person that's blocking is also working on those elements with the high block. You want to make sure that your timing is correct, that as the punch comes, that your timing is just right. So be thinking about distancing and timing as we do this drill. Let's do it again slowly. 1、2、3、はい1、2、3、はいNow let's do a medium speed if you feel comfortable. 1、2、3、はい1、2、3、はいよーい気をつけ3 よーい Excellent. So that is the number one. Go ahead and spend time with your partner and train this. Again, if you have more space than 3, go ahead and do that. If you only have space for 1, that's okay as well. Just practice it as much as you can in the space you have. But remember the things that we're concentrating on. We're working on the distancing and the timing, making sure we're turning at the last moment, making sure we're twisting, making sure we're not telegraphing. Over the course of time, we're trying to apply all of those fundamentals and the principles of the basics into the sparring. We're now going to work on 5-step sparring number 2. This is a low block for the defender. Now in the low block, we can block from a multitude of things, a punch, kick, strikes. To begin with, to make things simpler as we learn this technique, we're going to start off with the attacker doing a low-level punch, and later on we'll incorporate the kicks and strikes. So let's do this together. Go ahead and face your partner. Kyosuke. Ready. Yo. The attacker, step back with your right leg, low block with your left arm. I'm going to do low-level punch. Hey. Let's do this slowly. 1、2、3、はい。1、2、3、はい。Let's do this slowly again. 1、2、3、はい。1、2、3、はい。Medium speed. 1、2、3、はい。1、2、3、はい。 Yo. Escape. Great. Excellent. Go ahead and practice this with you and your partner until you feel very comfortable with that low block and steppy punch in either the 3 or 5-step sparring. Let's go over combination number 1 again. We're going to go over it slowly and then at a medium speed. The goal for all of these combinations is to get to where you're very comfortable with them and that you can do them at full speed with full focus and full fighting intensity. And so what we're going to do is start working on getting better and better towards that full speed and full power. So let's go ahead and go through it a few times at a slow speed. This will be the high block reverse punch, 1 count per side. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. Yame. Again. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. Yame. Okay, let's speed this up just a little bit. So go ahead and we're going to try to make that pause in between that block and the punch a little bit faster. We're going to still have the pauses from side to side be a little bit longer in the beginning, but let's start reducing that speed between the block and the punch. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. Yame. Let's do that again. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. Yame. And one more time. We're going to speed up the transition from side to side just a little bit. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. And Yame. Excellent. Now, if you found yourself kind of stumbling on that last one, and it's like, oh, that was too fast, that's okay. Go ahead and practice the combination at the speed you're comfortable with the idea that you're going to be going faster and faster and faster over the course of time as you are able to. Let's go through combination 2, just like we did combination 1, a little bit faster, focusing on shrinking the time between the block and the punch. Let's do this together. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. Yame. Let's do this again. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. Yame. And one more time. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. Yame. Excellent. Go ahead and practice this to where it gets comfortable, to where you can move easily and still maintain your balance, your center of gravity, stopping the techniques at the right time, and getting that speed faster and faster as you're able. This concludes class 3. Now it's time for your personal cool down. Spend some time thinking about the concepts and ideas that we went over in this class. Kyosuke! Great.